Right, so obviously, man, main card, big pay-per-view, fans back in the building as well. I mean, big fight here. I guess what's the feel for you right now?
You know, it's pretty much the same as always, and the whole week has been amazing. The lead up to this fight's been amazing. I'm blessed to be here. It's good to see all y'all here, a lot of familiar faces. So, you know, y'all do a big part of giving the fans what they want to see. So I got to thank y'all as well for having me here today.
Well, we appreciate that. But I mean, as you've progressed through your career and the lights start getting a little brighter, I mean, does it feel like bigger each time? Or as you said, I mean, does it still feel like any other fight?
I mean, it feels like any other fight in certain aspects. You know what I mean? Because when you go in there and all this shit goes out the window, and you get that same feel of a fight that I've had since I fought people at the bus stop, you know, when I was a kid. But now, when I go through these processes, I mean, it feels like a religious experience, and I mean, it's just, I feel an overwhelming sense of purpose and passion for what, you know, for what I'm able to do. And I just feel so blessed to be here, and I'm so happy to be able to be healthy enough to put on a show for y'all. And I'm so happy that people really want to see me. I feel appreciated, and it feels amazing.
That's awesome. Talk about Edson as an opponent. Obviously, he's been around the game for a long time. Is this somebody that you used to watch? Is this somebody that you could say you were a fan of watching him come up?
Absolutely. I mean, the coolest thing about Edson, I think, from I've seen some of them embedded videos, is he's got 2 kids and a wife. I mean, I think that's amazing. You know, that I dislike nothing about the guy. I've watched tons of his fights. I like who he is. I like how he fights. And, you know, it's going to be a great fight for everybody, you know.
I was going to say, knowing that you have that respect and admiration for him, does that make it easier or tougher to punch him in the face?
Well, he's going to be trying to do all sorts of stuff to my face. So, you know, yeah, I respect him till the end, but we're going to battle it out, brother. And it's going to get ugly in that cage. Yeah. But, you know, I wish nothing but good for him in life.
At its core, I mean, do you look at this as a striker versus grappler matchup? I mean, is that oversimplifying the tactics?
I mean, that's how y'all can look at it, but, you know, I've had 30-something fights, legal fights. I've never started a fight on the ground, actually, believe it or not. You know, actually, every single fight I've started on the feet, and I've never actually said, hey, do you want to fight? Let's start in guard. You know, the fights engage on the feet, so I don't look at myself as I'm a fighter, and that's what I think, but if people want to label me as whatever they want to, that's fine. They're open to their own interpretation.
Are you suggesting that you've been in some unsanctioned fights along the way?
God, I ain't suggesting it. I'm freaking telling you.
Look, a win here, I mean, top 10, I mean, maybe top 5. I mean, there's, you know, you're dealing with the elite of the division. So I just wonder, I mean, you got to win this fight. But if you started carving out the path of, man, I could beat this guy and that guy, and now we're talking title shot.
Of course, brother. That's what I've envisioned, and I'm getting closer and closer to it, and I'm going to give it everything I have in my ability to get there.
And as you kind of get the spotlight growing on, you know, people have been talking a lot about your political views and how you feel about things. And so I just wonder, like, do you welcome that, the opportunity to talk about the things that you believe in, or do you feel like, man, I got to maybe not start talking. Maybe I need to stop talking about that stuff and just focus on fighting?
No, I want to talk about things that I think are political, and I want to do it in a respectful manner, not to make other people think that I think that they're stupid. I want to share my beliefs and hear other people's beliefs, and maybe their beliefs can sway mine a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe I can out-debate them, you know. And because this fight shit is so minuscule in life, like, you think, yes, it's great for me and a small circle of people that I can help, but this shit is so minuscule. You have people out there being oppressed by governments. You have shit. We fall into that category, believe it or not. If you want me to get real political, you know, the Federal Reserve is a corrupt institution. There, I went out and said it. You know, these people control our dollar, brother, and we didn't vote for them. Think about it. You know, you got 13 board members voting on the value of the dollar. Did we vote for that? No, it's corrupted. So for me to actually be able to talk about something greater than fighting is is more purposeful than anything I could talk about related to fighting. And yeah, so I'm grateful to be able to do that. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you're just they say shut up and fight. You know what I mean? Well, you know what? If you don't want to hear that shit, turn off the TV and watch the fight. You don't got to watch my interviews. Then turn them off then. If you, instead of telling me to shut up, why don't you just stop listening, you know? Because there's a lot of people that agree with what I'm saying about some of my political views, and I'm happy to talk about them and debate about them. There was some wise dude way back in the day. It was either Socrates or Plato or Hippocrates or somebody, but he said, if you do not partake in your government, you will be ruled by people who are stupider than you. And that's what he said. Now, it was give or take a couple words.
Paraphrase.
It's paraphrased. But if we, the people, do not choose and are not active in conversations about what's going on in our government, well, then these idiots are going to control everything we do and we won't have a say in it. So yeah, I'm political because these people control me. And then you want to tell me that I can't talk and I have to shut up and fight and I can't talk about... No, I'm controlled completely by the government. I'm controlled completely by the value of the dollar because I get paid in dollars, okay? I don't get paid in pure gold. I get paid in dollars. And so I have a say about, in my opinion, I have a say about political issues, so...
Well, Saturday night, it'll be the minuscule part of your life that we'll be focusing on. I know you kind of said it's going to be bloody, it's going to be messy. I guess, is that what you're expecting when you play this thing out? Is this a back and forth, you know, kind of a brawling battle? Or is this a fight that maybe you can go in there and do something quick, surprise them, dominate them?
I don't know what's in store in the future, but I'm prepared for either.
Bryce, right here.
Yes, sir.
This is your first fight under the Venom gear, right? Are they getting you your camo shorts?
Yes, sir. I sure do. I got them, and I've really got to thank God, and I've got to thank Hunter Campbell, because you wouldn't believe the power of prayer, brother. About 3 weeks out from this fight, Hunter Campbell was saying, we can't do it. There ain't enough time. Venom, their factories are shut down. My whole family was down on their knees praying. I was down on my knees praying. I had people in my inner circle praying. And then about 2 weeks out from the fight, or a week out, I called Hunter Campbell and I said, listen, brother, we can make this happen. I know we can. There's a guy in Nashville that can do it. And I said, you're missing out on a huge demographic. And Hunter Campbell, we were laughing and joking, and he said, you know what? Let me make some calls. I'm going to see what I can. And it wasn't a guaranteed. But after that phone call with Hunter Campbell, I knew that it's going to be able to happen. So I'm so blessed and I'm so happy. Thank you, Hunter Campbell. Thank you, Dana White. Thank you, Venom. And thank you for all the people that pulled these strings and got this shit done for me.
What is the MMA scene in Arkansas right now? I know Ben Parrish made a bit of noise in Bellator. He got really popular. He's obviously credited you for the scene. So what is the scene of MMA in Arkansas these days?
Ben Parrish is like a brother from another mother. You know, great fighter, and we've known each other over the years. And really, the MMA community out there is pretty small, but kind of everybody knows each other. And you know, I care what those people think about me, and I think very highly of them. And it's you know, pretty cool to have that camaraderie amongst people. You know.
Before his last fight, he said he was bringing his quote-unquote heavy hitters to the crowd with him just in case there were crowd fights. If he won, are you bringing anyone with you to this fight?
Sounds like I don't got to. Sounds like they're all showing up there. And them people ain't kidding, brother. I mean, there's, you know, people really support me back home. And, you know, I mean something to them and they mean something to me. So it's an honor to be here.
He said he also he believes the most crowd fights in MMA. Like after his fights, people in the crowd would try to fight him if he beat a hometown fan. Have you fought anyone in the crowd after one of your fights? No,
that's why I get the hell out of there. And he ain't kidding, brother. Yeah, we've seen the fights in the crowd. I've been looking. There was one time I was walking out of the lobby, and this whole storm of people, like 14, 15, I don't even know. There's a shit ton of people, just like, it was like a storm of people just goes past me, and they're throwing punches, they're biting and spitting and throwing, and it's just like, boom, right in front of me. And that was at Minglewood Hall in Memphis. It's like, the shit you see in this sport, y'all probably wouldn't believe some of the shit that I've seen. You'd think I'm exaggerating it.
Have you managed to have much studio, Bryce, down to your left here?
Oh, what's up, brother? Thank you.
Have you managed to have much studio time during your training camp?
Yep, my trailer is my studio, my car is my studio. So when I'm going to the gym and chilling, that's now when I'm actually. You're talking about the music, right? Yeah. I do go to a guy named Kev, the Joker, and my buddy Dylan Johnson has also helped me out. But I very rarely go to the recording studio. I do most of my. It's kind of like the comparison of how much time I spend in the gym training to actual the amount of time in the cage. Like imagine the cage is the studio, like with the professionals, with Kev there editing. Most of the time it's training. It's in my trailer, in my car, when I'm by myself rapping, working on that. So very little time is actually spent in the studio.
And other than yourself, who do you think is the best rapper in the UFC or in MMA in general?
I don't really know, and I don't like being compared to other UFC rappers because it's like, who cares? I don't want to be compared to a UFC rapper. I want people who don't even know shit about the UFC to recognize that I can rap. I don't want people to just say, oh, well, he's only good at rapping because he's been a successful fighter. I want people who know nothing about fighting or care nothing about fighting to be reached by my music. And that's the goal of it, is to connect with people, regardless of the fight. Take the UFC out of it. You know, I want my rap to reach people.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Bryce, just at the back over here, bro.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? A lot of people think politics should stay out of sport, but considering you're not one of those people, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the whole Russia and Ukraine situation.
You know, here's my first thought is I'm not going nowhere to fight none of these wars for these politicians. I'm staying at home, and when the war comes to Arkansas, I will dig my boots in the ground, and I will die for everything I love, and I will not retreat. If this country's invaded and everybody's saying, well, we gotta evacuate, we gotta leave, I will not. I will dig my boots in the Arkansas soil, and I will fight for the people that I love, for the land that I love, and the way of life that I love. But I'm not going overseas to fight. I don't know what's going on, to be honest, brother. I really don't. There's so much stuff, and I don't think nobody knows what's going on fully. There's been so much political corruption in that area. You got Biden and his son making a shit ton of money off of and using our tax dollars to bribe their people. That's treasonous, in my opinion. So you got Hunter Biden and his son using our tax dollars. Hey, if Ukrainian government, if you don't do this, we're taking your tax dollars. He shouldn't be giving our tax dollars to that country anyway. We got veterans out here sleeping on the street, and you're going to give our freaking tax dollars to these Ukrainians and all that. Brother, I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm not going over there and fighting, and God bless anybody that's over there fighting, and I hope that the shit just gets solved. And, man, I don't like war. You know what I mean? I don't want people dying and all that stuff. I don't want to be, but I don't know what's going on. There's so much stuff that I think that's corrupted that we just don't know what's truly going on over there. And I pray all those people are safe, and I don't want none of that. You know, I have no control over that shit, and I don't really know enough to talk about it too much. But thank you for asking. Thank you very much.
Bryce, you mentioned at the beginning of your time with us, thank you for taking time out of your day, staying humble. You're on the main card, putting music together, you're here with the press conference, you got the camouflage shorts coming. How do you stay humble with all this attention and climbing up the ladder?
I would say my relationship with God has just been really important in my life, and I've felt more spiritual in the last year of my life than I ever have, and it's just an amazing feeling. So all the good stuff that you see coming out of me is a product of me letting God shine through me.
Thank you, sir. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, my brother.
Bryce, one more. Can I ask you your thoughts on the main event? Who you think's going to win between Colby and Jorge?
Shoot, well, I'm not betting, so I'm not that confident. You know what I mean? I think that each of them are good at, you know, different things, and I kind of hate to see it, like, the personal attacks, you know what I mean? I kind of hope after the fight they just kind of hug it out, but, you know, I hate to see all that personal. It gets so personal, and you know, because I think overall they're both probably pretty good people, and you know, I don't know. I don't know who's going to win, brother. I hope that both of those guys leave that cage healthy, because they're talking about wanting to kill each other and all that, and I hope that neither of them dies. I hope that both of those people go home healthy. I know they have a lot of people that care about them back home, so that's what I hope. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, you've been obviously making your way, still undefeated. When you look at fights like, for example, Volkanovski and Zombie, you see Max Holloway up there, like, are you getting to that point where you're imagining what it's going to be like when you get to those fights yourself?
Absolutely, brother. You have to envision all this stuff for it to come true. If you don't believe it and envision it, it's, you know, nothing's ever done if you don't think about it first. If you don't see it happen, and everything you do, you think about doing it before you do it. So absolutely, my brother.